Just think for a moment. Imagine you're a parent. How would you feel if somebody kidnapped your child? And how would you feel if you were that kidnapped child? How would you feel? Like this? And suppose years later you escape, but you can't find your family anymore. How would you feel? How would you feel?
Okay, so can you tell us what's Link Up all about?
Link Up Queensland Aboriginal Corporation is to speak into that, or okay, all right. We exist to assist Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people over the age of 18 who've been removed, forcibly removed by the government, taken away. They were taken away from their families.
Taken away?
Yes, that's right. That's
removed,
right.
as in physically.
She was. I was.
Yes. Mm.
Yeah.
And we're talking about past from the understanding of past government policies in Australia.
The government and the churches.
Not in Australia, I don't.
Okay.
Well, taken away. You know, if you take something and take it away and put it somewhere else, well, that's how we were taken from where we come from and put somewhere else that we don't belong to. Do you understand?
Another country.
Taken from their parents. What
That's
for?
what the government did.
Because there was a
past government policies at the time, the legislation of Australia at the time.
If you're Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander, you were deemed the responsibility of the Aboriginal.
And you came under the Act.
The government, and they
The Act.
placed these policies in place where they took people away. And
What did they do? What did they do with you? Put them in homes and dormitories and...
Put us on missions that we don't belong to.
all
I
of
was-
Australia.
Your parents?
My whole family was taken and put on a mission.
So the policy was, and when we're talking about the policy, we're talking about the government legislation at the time. So
Protection Act.
yes, I do know why. If you put into the context of the White Australia policy and a policy of that Aboriginal peoples, not only in Australia but globally, are better off in a dominant culture. So it was going back to the Charles Darwin theory of evolution. So we go back that far. So here in Australia, in every state in Australia, there was different legislation. Here in Queensland, where we are now, the legislation stated that children, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander children under 18 years of age, the government was their guardian. So basically parents never had a right. So that's the context of it.
There's also
And up to 1972.
How do you feel about it? Well, it's unfair, of course.
It hurts.
Of anyone.
Really hurts.
We've all been traumatised, and Link Up was set up to assist those people who were forcibly removed, adopted, fostered, removed, or put into dormitories like Palm Island. And those generations have now come back to us saying we don't know who we are because they have no sense of place or where they belong. And they come back to Link Up. We have Link Ups throughout Australia. They come to us and they say, can you help us? We think we're Aboriginal. We think we're Torres Strait Islander, we don't know, because the government was their guardian. They had the responsibility of all the information, and it's only in the last 20 years that we've been able to access our own personal information. So that's what Link Up does. We act as a mediator, and we actually research on their behalf as well with regards to finding information and also families of people who've been taken away. So, yeah.
Do you feel angry about this?
We're very traumatised by this. It's affected up to 4 or 5 generations. Oh, you might treat a few trees while you're... It's traumatised people by being removed because Artie was saying Artie's older than us and you still have those feelings of hurt and, you know, of something that happened to you that we had no control of.
No. You don't forgive.
Well, you can't. It's an individual thing, that's right.
Yeah. You don't forget.
Some were so traumatised that, forgiven just not a word.
It's not a word in my...
But,
I don't think about that.
And people have said to us, well, forget it and move on, but we can't because that's our history. And we've lost our grannies, our mothers, our grandparents, our grandfathers along the way. Who that was taken away.
Good morning.
That...
See, I lost my father through all this. They can't give me back my father.
That's right. And the choice was taken away from our mob, where they could make... Whereas now, if someone said to me, because I've got 4 children and 6 grandchildren, someone came to me and said, I'm going to take your family away, there'd be all hell to pay. But our family had no choice because that was taken away from them.
This is unbelievable. Appalling. Shocking. Who could have done this? Who could have done this to these people? Why?
A painful chapter in Australia's story.
As Prime Minister of Australia, I am sorry.